I love the curiosity that it brings from our customers and the questions that come from it. So just that authenticity of knowing who they're speaking with and communicating with is really important.
Welcome back to Business Talk, the TikTok marketing podcast for business owners and entrepreneurs who want real strategies to generate leads and sales directly from TikTok. I'm your host, Austin Armstrong, and I'll be interviewing real business owners from every industry that are leveraging TikTok to grow their business. You can connect with me on TikTok at SocialtyPro. Let's jump into it. Today's guest is Lisa and Adam Harrington, the founders of Mermaid straw. In a land far, far away in Australia, co-founders Lisa and Adam met and began the love story of a lifetime, inseparable since day one. They have had quite the adventure, engaged 2 months into dating. Wow, that is incredible, by the way. They knew, they knew this was so powerful here. I love this quote here. Life threw them a curveball when Lisa got sick with a chronic illness called POTS in 2017, leaving her bedridden for over a year. During that time, Lisa experienced extreme loss, fear, and doubt, but was determined to not let it take her down. One night in July 2018, she had a dream about creating Mermaid straw. She woke up the next morning and got right to it. Within 2 weeks, they had their first sale and they knew they were onto something. Through working to heal the planet, Lisa began healing herself. While she still has hard days, life is full of purpose and worth every minute. Now happily married for over 10 years, Lisa and Adam are beyond grateful for the response their mission has gained and the ability to live their passions every day. Thank you both so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get into the TikTok side of things, I'm really curious about your guys' background a little bit and why sustainability and sustainable packaging matters so much to you.
Yeah. So when you were kind of giving us the introduction there, part of my realization when I was bedridden and really sick was that there's just a lot of waste in general. So like just basically laying there kind of helpless, you sort of have all these realizations and sort of like enlightening moments where like, wow, this is insane. So we ended up having to move out of our house into an apartment because our house had a bunch of stairs and it was a bit bigger. So we went to an apartment, which was much more manageable for my body. But when doing that, we were putting up some curtains and there's a curtain rod that had like an extra piece in it. And I was just like, what do we do with this now? Like, this is such a strange concept to just throw away something that is absolutely perfectly normal. And so that sort of snowballed obviously into what it is today, but it was just sort of like, wow, I can't believe, like, I've always been aware of waste and we had already been using like metal straws at that point, but it just kind of was like one of those things like, you know, you buy something brand new, but now what do? It's only worked with the curtain system, but it's too big for the curtain system. So we have to throw it away. And so, yeah, it made a big difference for me mentally. So
definitely. And I think with me growing up in Australia, 90% of the population in Australia lives on the coast. So pollution and ocean pollution specifically has been something that I've kind of grown up around and been taught from a very young age from my parents and school and things like that you should always do your best to not pollute and make sure you're doing your best to recycle and things like that. So growing up surfing in the oceans, it was always very disheartening if you were out there surfing and you had a piece of garbage just kind of floating past you and smack you in the face while you're trying to enjoy the waves. So that's kind of where my passion for the topic stemmed from. And that's kind of where me and Lisa have that in common, where we kind of grew a passion together for doing something that was mission driven. And really it was just something that Lisa was going to do kind of just on her own time. And then it just absolutely exploded. So within 3 months, I was working full time with Mermaid straw as well. So
it's absolutely incredible. I mean, 1.8 million followers on TikTok right now
weird.
Yeah, it's real weird.
Yeah. Did you ever think it would get this big?
No. When I originally created the business, I wanted to be able to contribute because I was no longer able to work on my old job. So I wanted to be able to contribute to our house, but as well as that, I wanted to like have like a purpose. Like I wasn't really sure when I was sick, like what my future was going to hold. And so I wanted to create sort of a legacy just in case something were to happen to me and I wasn't to be around anymore. So I really wanted to make sure that I could create some sort of a legacy but I just imagined it being quite small. So we started in our closet in our spare bedroom So definitely did not anticipate it being what it is today.
We actually still have the same desk that we first used in our closet. We still have that same desk in our office now. So it's kind of like
never getting rid of it.
Never getting rid of that first desk. And we have some cool videos and stuff from those early days where, you know, it was just me and Lisa and packaging in the closet and taking the orders ourselves to the post office and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, at that time, we just never imagined it would get to where it is today.
Yeah. And how long have you been on TikTok?
I'd say probably 2 years on TikTok now. Yeah.
It's incredible. That is just incredible growth. Did y'all have any experience with social media and even more specifically video marketing before TikTok?
Very minimal, but we were in real estate before I got sick and before I started the company. We were the first in our area to do real estate videos for like kind of walkthrough videos. So our area where we are located right now, it's sort of like small town kind of Indiana. So we definitely were kind of pushing that envelope of what's new out there with those videos. And so we had some experience in that sense, but it was all self-taught, and we'd only been doing that we did real estate for like 5 years, but we only did the videos maybe for like a year or two. So they weren't like, you know, what they are now. It's not like TikTok, it's different. So we had some experience, but not a ton.
And that was like old school shooting on a camera and then, you know, getting the film into a computer and then editing on the computer. Whereas we didn't have too much experience doing all the editing on your phone and like what apps to use and all that kind of stuff.
Like social media experience. And we used it for our business, but not that much. It was definitely something new for us. And really since maybe October 2020 is when our TikTok actually started kind of blowing up too. So we had been on TikTok for like a couple months before that, and it wasn't really doing it. So
well, I'd love to dig deeper into that. So what was that turning point? What was your content looking like originally, and what sort of turned that corner and helped you blow up on there?
So we're both in our mid 30s, and we really didn't understand what TikTok was. So we had our employees who are 20, 21, and they were like, "We love TikTok. You should get on TikTok." And so I was sort of like, "Okay, go for it." And so we had kind of passed it off to some employees, and they were just doing silly trends and stuff that they saw others doing. And it really just was just silly. You know, it wasn't like much of anything. And then one day I had been, I was just like, let's just post what our routine is. Like, I'm a very genuine, down to earth person. So let's just be who we actually are. Like, I don't really follow trends usually and stuff like that. So let's just try and do what we actually do. And with my illness, I developed severe anxiety that led me like basically to being agoraphobic. And so I really just only was okay with like kind of being in my safe space and like listening to ASMR videos on my like from Instagram. So I love, this is so dorky, but to admit, but like so crunching and cutting and stuff like that. So that's what I was really into at the time. And I was like, let's just do an ASMR type like day in the life or, you know, morning routine or whatever. So we did that, and that got like a ton of views for the first day, like 50,000 views. And I was like, okay, we've never gotten like more than 100 views. Like, so we're on to something here. So we did another one, and then we started doing order packaging, and I was like, this is it. And so after that, we had quickly got 2 million views on one of our videos, and it was like within a week. And I was like, wow. So from like 100 views, like 1 million views, it makes a huge difference. So we've just really leaned into that since then. And that's just been our niche this entire time. And it's awesome.
I think just kind of the moment where we started just being authentic and just being us and showing what we do on a daily basis. Some of our videos that have got over 1 million views or, you know, tens of millions of views, we're just like, it's literally what we do every single minute of every single day. So to us, it's not that interesting, but it's something. No, but it is. It's just like, it's daily stuff that we didn't really think about before. But then we started capturing it on video and posting it, and people just responded really well to it. And it did give us an opportunity to showcase, you know, what we do in our eco-friendly packaging and that kind of stuff, and obviously our products. So it was just authentically us.
And also to add to that, like, I really don't like marketing, like in terms of like, I just feel like it's so like not genuine to be like, oh, look at my product, look at me, look, you know. So I feel like it was just so much easier to be like, look at our product while we're putting it into a box. It's much easier. And then people are like asking about it, and I can answer questions versus like, look, you know, all that stuff. So anyway, yeah, that's because it's been working for us. So we'll stick with it.
Yeah, that authenticity is so important for brands, businesses, and entrepreneurs in general, because it really builds the trust with your audience, right? If
Yeah.
you're constantly just, shoving sales down their
Yeah.
throat, nobody
Yeah.
wants to be served an infomercial
Right.
constantly every single time. That's not how you build a following. You build a following by creating content that they're interested in and opening up that dialogue, nurturing the conversation so that they want to support your mission. They want to, be a part of the sustainability goal that you've implemented since the beginning, and feel like they're joining a movement here.
Yeah.
Now, for anybody that doesn't know what ASMR is, could you briefly explain what that is? And then a follow-up question on that. Adam, were you also into this as well? Or like, what was that? What was that like for you when the first ASMR video popped off?
So I actually don't remember the exact definition of ASMR, but I know basically it's the sounds that are sort of like pleasing to people, kind of gives people goosebumps or chills, relaxing to some. I honestly, when I make the videos, I fall asleep when I make them, and it's kind of a frustrating problem because it's like every single night I have to make these videos and I'm constantly falling asleep.
She's not kidding. I'd walk in the room and Lisa's literally there, halfway edited a TikTok video on her phone with her phone still in her hand, completely passed out asleep. And I'm like, oh, that happened again.
It's like almost a daily problem. So that's embarrassing in itself. But yeah, so basically, yeah, it's basically the feeling of getting like chills or, the tingling in the back of your neck or just relaxation. That's sort of an ASMR, like what it's supposed to do for you. Were you into it?
I had zero idea what ASMR was. I hadn't been
I'd be showing him like, look at, they're cutting soap, and he'd be like, okay.
I'd be like, that sounds kind of cool. That's something. And then
I don't know.
yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, I had not been exposed to the ASMR community at all, and now I am, and it's really cool. There are some really cool videos out there, and the sounds, they don't affect me as much as they affect people that are really into ASMR.
Asleep every time I make a video.
Yeah, but I love the curiosity that it brings from our customers and the questions that come from it. So it's really cool getting, posting different videos with different products and the different things people will say. And it's just a great way to like spark conversations about not just our products, but about our mission, and our packaging specifically gets a lot of questions, and people kind of comment on that quite a lot. So it's a good way to raise awareness.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now, I was watching a lot of your videos beforehand, and I noticed that quite a few of them open up the exact same way with the putting sliding the package
basket
thing,
yeah.
on the table, and then proceeding to load it. I'm curious why that's the case. Is it to create familiarity? Is there any? Yeah, tell me more about that, because I found it fascinating.
So I found that like if you don't get their interest within the first 1 or 2 seconds, you're not gonna get it. So, and then with having like a more dedicated fan base that we have, if they're scrolling through their For You page and they see that slide, they're gonna be, oh, that's Mermaid straw. Like they're gonna know exactly what it is. So, and then hopefully they'll continue to watch it. So that's what we found has been working really well for us. We do switch it up once in a while. We ask them too. That's a really big important thing for us, is we ask like, do you like this part of it? Because if you don't, then let us know. Like we recently put a thing out there, was like, we have like a thing where we do crunchies, which is like the back of the label, and we kind of crunch it up. And we're like, do you like this? Yes or no? Because that's a very divided thing usually. People are like, oh, I hate that part of it, or I love it, or now it's just part of the process. So I want to make sure it's interesting, and I want to make sure that we're continuing giving what they want. So
that's been a big part of not just our TikTok experience, but also our business experience in general. We started with just reusable straws. Like we had, I think, 4 different colored straws, 4 or 5 different colored straws, and they were just regular straws. They weren't different sizes or diameters or anything. And then from there, we just literally listened to our customers and what they wanted, and that's how we've developed. And it's been nice because we've released products with a demand that we know is already there. So we're not producing something that we're just like, hey guys, hope you like this. It's like we've created a product that people have been asking for, which when we release it, it creates an environment of success for that product, a successful launch.
Yeah, because they feel like they were involved in that process, right? Like what a fantastic way continue to build trust with your audience. Another thing that I was noticing on your channel too is it's so colorful, all of the thumbnails and whatnot. That's got to be on purpose, right? Like every thumbnail picture in there has pinks and purples and your brand colors and the turquoise color in there. Just was that done intentionally?
It absolutely was. It's something that's super important because I want people to look at our brand and think it's fun, it's colorful. Straws are everywhere, reusable straws are everywhere. So we're trying to make ourselves set ourselves apart from the competition by being like that fun and colorful and exciting and something that you want to, use and basically want to be like automatically recognizable. So,
and that was something that Lisa developed, especially with the drinkware colors. It's a very pastel themed color, but like color scheme, but it's so on brand with us, with everything that we do, from straws to flatware to drinkware to even our apparel, having the tie-dye apparel, very on brand. But I remember before we even developed our drinkware line, like Lisa was literally going through all the different colors, like a giant, I think it was like a $200+
the Pantone books.
The Pantone books of all the different colors, and she was literally hand picking the colors of our drinkware and making sure they matched and making sure that they were on brand. And we had to obviously get samples and things like that. But that was all Lisa, making sure that it was like setting that up. And that way, when those videos came through, we could create that color scheme and that brand recognition. So it's definitely very intentionally done.
Yeah. It's kind of funny too, because I only wear black ever. So personally, it's just very funny that that's just, our brand is so colorful like that. But
whole wardrobe is black, but then she's got a couple of tie-dye Mermaid straws things thrown in there as well. So it's pretty funny.
It's her internal expression coming out.
I know. And actually I was saying this maybe even yesterday to our employees, but it's like an alter ego. Like I can not really that's not who I am, like in terms of what I normally wear, but it's something that I love. Like since I was a little kid, I was really into art and coloring and stuff. And I only ever used the colors of our brand when I colored. So I think it's kind of like taking my childhood out and kind of displaying it. Yeah.
I love that. And how frequently are you posting? Is it daily? Is it a couple times a week? Is it multiple times per day?
It should be daily. There are times where I definitely will fall asleep making a TikTok and I end up getting it up. Or life just happens. We've had some pretty crazy stuff happening in the last couple months. So the ideal goal for us is daily. We find that increases our sales by at least double. If we post daily, by the end of the week, we've gotten double the sales than we would have if we posted every other day or something like that. So it definitely helps when we are able to do that. Sometimes we post more than one time a day, but that's pretty rare. It's like if a sale or something really big has happened. But ideally that every single day. It's just what we hear too is like the feedback. Some of our customers are like, I fall asleep to these videos, so I purposely go to your page to find a new one to go to sleep to. So then I kind of feel like I'm letting them down if I fall asleep making the video and I'm not able to give it to them, but that's the goal. So
we started actually making, because people were just wanting more and more videos because they were using them to like relax and fall asleep. We started creating YouTube videos, and we started doing like compilations where we do like a 20-minute video of our packaging videos, kind of one after another. That way they wouldn't have to, have just a short video. They would just watch one video. And we have a large following in some countries where TikTok isn't allowed. So YouTube, we actually discovered we were on YouTube by customers contacting us saying, we're watching your videos on YouTube. And it was actually other people reposting our TikTok videos.
Oh, wow.
And those videos were getting like tens of thousands of views. And we're like, okay, so we should probably start posting these to our own YouTube.
And then one of our employees, Emily, was just like, I got this. Because we're like, that sounds like a good plan. And she was like, and so she started posting it without even having any input from us. And it was pretty awesome because then it grew us to about, at that point, probably like 100,000 subscribers. And we got our first YouTube plaque, and it was so fun, so cool. And then I've sort of like kind of taken the reins on since then, since I've been doing more of the editing and stuff like that myself. But we're getting like 60 to 70,000 subscribers a month now on YouTube too. So
yeah, fantastic.
It's literally just our TikTok videos being reposted. So
it's brilliant. That's brilliant. I mean, now out of curiosity, are you uploading the videos at nighttime because people are gonna? Yeah, it's amazing. Smart.
I figured the time, but so some of our analytics say like 9 a.m., but that's because of those people are in different countries. It's not the US. like analytics that are saying that 9 a.m. works. It's other countries. However, most of our US base is at nighttime trying to fall asleep to them, but they end up sleeping and shopping. It's just the funniest thing. So yeah, so that's the time that works best for us. We've tried a bunch of other times, but this works the best.
Gotcha. And so I want to pivot into the business side of things here a little bit. I'd love to hear, let's start off with a big question. How many sales have you gotten specifically from TikTok?
Specifically from TikTok, I would say probably around 100,000.
Wow.
Specifically TikTok. Yeah.
Sales. That is, congratulations. That is just absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you.
Absolutely phenomenal. And how are you driving those sales? Is it, I know you have the homepage of your website right in the bio. Is that typically how people will purchase? They'll click that link, they'll find products.
Yep, definitely. It would be awesome if TikTok had a different system like Instagram does, that we have products that you can chat from. However, yeah, they basically just go to the homepage. It's obviously our most popular page that we get. Every single month we do a company meeting. In fact, today is our company meeting later today, and we go through our analytics of where people ended up from and how much money is generated from TikTok and all that stuff every single month. And it's crazy to see. So.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I think that another really important part of directing traffic to our website is the amount of comments that we get on our videos of like, how do I order?
How to order?
Yeah, there's just like, how do I order? I love this. How can I order? Even though we do have the link in our bio, a lot of people still ask that question. So it takes us being engaged enough and responding to them with our website so they can just type the website in. Obviously you can't link in TikTok comments, but we throw our website in there and let them know. So being engaged enough to make sure we're responding to each one of those comments so they know where to shop is another big thing for us.
And that their comments important to us. So we try and respond to like almost as many as we possibly can. Like our customer service, customer happiness, as we call her, rep Emily, she's really great about getting so many comments answered, and then Adam and I do it as well. So
yeah, I think that comes back to the authenticity of our brand. They know that they're either talking to us, specifically me and Lisa, or they'll be talking to Emily, and
they know exactly who they're talking.
Yeah, they know Emily. Emily's been on some of our videos, and so just that authenticity of knowing who they're speaking with and communicating with is really important to generating that traffic.
That's great. Now, are you doing any sort of back-end sales strategy as well, like capturing emails and setting up an email drip campaign? Or is it more likely that they're just going to come over to the website through any of those various means and make an immediate purchase?
It's more likely that they will come through social media by far. However, we do have a good drip campaign going with, well, not so much good. We have an okay drip campaign going. I don't have a ton of experience in that, but we do capture emails. We've got like a cool spin to win thing on our website, and that does get like hundreds of thousands of emails captured. So that does help us a lot in terms of when we do put an email out, but we don't really do that too often, even though we should. And we just ended up starting a new program with text message marketing. We haven't set it up yet, but we just had our first like onboarding, was it yesterday, the day before? So that'll be something soon as well. So that'll be good.
I think that's something that people realize pretty quickly with our brand is when they sign up for like email alerts. A lot of brands start just bombarding people with emails, like 2 or 3 emails a week or something like that, which marketing wise, it's probably something, it helps generate sales being that consistent. But for us, I don't know if we're leaving money off the table, but if there's something that our customers need to know, that's when we send emails out, like for big sales, like our Oops sale, or if we're having some kind of event, like our cleanups or something, that's when we'll use the emails. So it's very sparingly, and that's done intentionally because I hate getting spammed by companies with emails, and we drive enough traffic from our social media platforms that's just not something that we want to do too much of.
Yeah, it's obviously working for you well, so don't break what's already working, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on, so like Instagram has shopping directly in the app. TikTok is rolling out other sort of clickable integrations within video that you can add. I believe over in China, the Douya app has some shoppable features right in there and some integrations with some third-party shopping companies and whatnot.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything along these lines? Is that something that you think is going to be rolling out?
I hope it
helpful
does.
for you, direct
Yeah.
shopping right from TikTok?
It would be amazing. I know that they have sort of like an option in terms of like their paid advertisement, but in our experience, we've done in the very beginning before TikTok, we did paid advertising through Instagram and Facebook, and we spent probably like hundreds of thousands of dollars on it, and it was fine. I mean, it did fine for us, but it was not like anything like this natural engagement we get through TikTok. So what we found personally is that if you started using those paid ads from those other platforms and then you stopped, then all your engagement is like gone. So that's something that I get kind of worried about with like ever doing like ads and stuff. So for us, if they do with TikTok, shoppable links and stuff, I hope that it isn't for just people who like right now pay for ads. That'd be awesome. Yeah. It just isn't really authentic for us to do that. As soon as we stopped doing paid advertising, our sales went so high. So
yeah, it was kind of funny. And we've been approached by so many marketing companies, and it's interesting how many of them walk away from our conversations literally scratching their heads, wondering how we're having so much engagement, because we literally have not spent a dime on marketing since our first viral TikTok video, like a year and a half ago.
Pretty awesome.
So everything has just been completely natural engagement. And I think that comes back to just being authentic. But if there was some kind of way where our customers, and it's just literally, it's really just being more ease of use for our customers to be able to just have a clickable link on our videos for TikTok. So if they came out with something like that, that would be pretty big for us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the power of mastering organic marketing versus advertising, is that this is going to work this already is working for you around the clock, 24/7, generating you leads. You don't need to pump additional money into it. And it just works for you. You have mastered it so intentionally as well, and building that community online. I just commend you, you both. It's been awesome. Like,
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. What's next for Mermaid Straw? Is there anything that you're working on right now, or what's next?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. Before we go into that, I did want to add as well, one really important thing that we do is we go live every Tuesday at noon Central Time every single week. And that helps as well, because our followers, like, they get to talk to us, and we just basically we treat it like almost like a FaceTime conversation, and then we get to do live packaging as well on there. So that's something also just to add, like, it's very important to do the lives, that especially on TikTok. Other platforms you get some weirdos, but on TikTok it's a different breed, and it makes our business so much more successful, and we can generate a ton of sales during our TikTok lives just because people are like, oh, can I see the mint cup with the glass straw? And they ask for all that stuff, and so they can see it, and we can kind of show it to them. They're like, oh, can you open it up? And we open it up for them, and that makes such a huge difference for us.
And we kind of took the authenticity to the next level, and Lisa came up with the idea of having little packaging cards that says "packaged with love" and it would list whichever one of our employees actually packages their order. So when we go live on TikTok, our followers actually meet our team, and they get to and they get to talk to their team, and they're just like, oh, Peyton, you packaged my order, or Taylor, you packaged my order. That's so cool to see you and like talk to you and get to know you. And we've even had employees start here, and like 30 days into their employment, we'd have people in the live comments being like, happy 30 days, whoever. Sabrina or whoever. So it's really cool to have them like get to know us and get to know our team as well, and kind of go along for that ride. And it's a really cool place to ask us questions, as Lisa was saying, see our products in person before they purchase, and a lot of people end up going from our lives to our website, which is really cool.
All of these little attentions to detail have really added up into the magnificent results that you've had. What advice would both of you give to a business owner or an entrepreneur that wants to get started on TikTok and wants to be successful on the platform?
Well, my sister is launching her business today, and so I told her from the beginning, film everything. And so she started posting on TikTok maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she's at 18,000 followers now. And yeah, so she's really excited. Today is her first day. And so I was just like, just everything you can possibly do, post it on there. Like every refill, every restock, everything you're making, every detail about your business, just post it on there. Don't be afraid to just put yourself out there.
Be consistent.
And then listen to your audience. If they really like this specific thing, like she got a couple million views from one of her videos. And I said, do that one again, give it a couple days and do that again, do the same thing again. And yeah, so she's got her email list is now a couple hundred people. She's got 17 or 18,000 followers on TikTok, a bunch of Instagram stuff, and she's going to be set up for when she launches today. So I'm so excited for that for her. So that's exactly what I would say is just go for it. Just push everything you possibly can out there and then listen.
Yeah, definitely. I think authenticity is so key in this arena, because I think the days of paid advertisements, I mean, they're still around and they still work for particular certain companies. But for new businesses, I think authenticity and just connecting with your audience in a personal way, so many more people respond to that kind of thing, especially the next generation. They respond to authenticity. They respond to getting to know who they're purchasing from. They don't want to be sold a product. They want to support people that they enjoy and that they like and they want to support. So that would be my piece of advice. Just be authentic and just be consistent and show as much of your business that you can.
I don't want to skip over the question about what's next for Mermaid Straw. I just wanted to, so what's next is we are actually building a van out right now, like renovating a van, converting it into an RV, and we're going to be doing a cleanup in every single state. Wow. So pretty excited about that.
We've been doing cleanups for basically since our company started here on Lake Michigan. So they started with just us and our employees going out there and doing cleanups. And to date, we've just had so many cleanups, and we've done around the world as well. So we invite people, all of our audience from around the world, to join us every month to do cleanups. And we kept getting the question from people around the US. They're like, hey, can you come to my community and help us clean? And we're just like, we don't know how that would do. We don't know how we would do that. We don't know like it's just me and Lisa and, a handful of employees. So we don't really have the resource to do something that huge. And then we thought about, let's just do it. Let's just get a van and let's go to these places where our customers are asking us to help them clean up. So yeah, we've got a couple of cleanup partners that are helping us get this van built. And it's going to be really exciting to get that van. And it's going to be April. Earth Day is going to be the first launch of the whole project.
It's halfway built, or more than halfway built.
Yeah,
right now,
more than halfway built right now. So we'll be unveiling it on Earth Day at our cleanup. We're partnering with the National Park Service here on Lake Michigan. But yeah, our goal for the future is just to do a cleanup. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a beach. It could be a riverfront. It could be a park. Yeah. There's trash everywhere. So the more we can help clean up a community, and especially our customers' communities, that'd be really cool. So that's the goal, is a cleanup in every state.
So it's incredible. Lisa, Adam, you are both absolute rock stars from a business, a social media perspective, making a positive impact in the world. How can people both get involved with this cleanup if they want to find out when you're going to be in their city? And how can people learn more about Mermaid Straw? Where would you like to direct everybody?
TikTok. So on our website, we do have a link that says join a cleanup. We will have more updated information about our cleanups this year coming up soon. Like Adam was saying, our first one starts in April, so that will be updated before then. And we'll probably put a place in there where you can request a cleanup in your area. So
yeah,
it's gonna be kind of fun.
We're currently building out the web page now. So our cleanup season starts in April. Mid-April for Earth Day. So usually about a month before that, we'll have the website ready to go. So probably in the next couple of weeks, we'll have that webpage done, so people can go there. But probably my biggest piece of advice would be just to follow us on social media, like follow our Instagram, because we're very transparent and we post everything we can on our Instagram and on our TikTok. So when we launch this program and give more information about it, we'll definitely be posting it all over our social media. So that's the best way to keep in touch with us.
Fantastic. And that website for anybody listening is mermaidstraw.com. I'll also have that link and all of their social media links in the description and show notes of this episode. Lisa, Adam, thank you so much again for joining me today.
No worries. Yeah. Thank you very much for having us. We appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.